We're still live here from the east of the metro, the Antipolo Sports Hub. And if you just tuned in earlier, the 14-under matchup between Rizal and Mandaluyong, it's a 62-53 victory para sa Rizal as we now move on to the featured action from the 16-under, still from the North Division for our second game of this 6-game slate ngayong Martes. Two winless teams though clash as we bring you the action from the country's premier youth basketball league, Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. So we're now at game number 2, the 16-under matchup between these two teams. Later on, Davao Kingthorns and Antipolo JY Titans will figure in their own 3-game set. A pleasant morning muli sa inyong lahat. Time when they are this time joined by Coach Noy Africa. Mabilis na pagbabago at magandang umaga muli sa iyo, Noy.
Napakagandang umaga. Of course, it's Rizal Provincial Day and we've got two teams, Rizal and Antipolo, who will be playing today. Although at this point, it's Rizal going up against Mandaluyong. Rizal looking for their first victory in 4 games while Mandaluyong coming off their own loss in their opening game.
Baka ito na nga yung magic dahil nasa pseudo home court itong Rizal team. Unahin na nga natin ang kanilang performance in that previous game which we had a fortunate chance to cover. It went into overtime. Very close defeat para dito sa Switch Fiber. 87-7. They lost against JT Bulacan Taitban 87-79.
Yeah, in that game, they pretty much lost that game due to a slow third quarter. And Bulacan in that game, even though they shot a little worse than Rizal, 44 against the 47 of Rizal, Rizal was out-rebounded 43-35, and they had 3 less three-pointers, so that's a 9-point differential right there, and just really not able to take care of the basketball, giving up 17 steals to Bulacan.
Naman tayo sa kabila, Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith, yun nga, elusive first win pa rin in season number 2. Losing big against the Antipolo JY Titans, 75-52.
And in that game, Mandaluyong really struggled from the field, only shooting 27%. And then they gave up too many free throws to Antipolo, allowing Antipolo to convert 18 out of 31 from the free throw area. And one important thing to note for Mandaluyong, they only had a solitary bench point against 40 for Antipolo. And you cannot really just rely on your starters, and in a game like this, you're gonna need all the help that you can get. Players to watch for both teams. Lawrence Pilas in their last game against Bulacan finished with 18 points, 9 rebounds, while for Mandaluyong, Julian Villano finishing with a double-double, 29 points and 11 rebounds.
Now let's head over to Kagawad Balong Rosetes for our starting lineups.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sports Hub, Antipolo City. Here we go for the second match of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Season 2, ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino. We are live on official Facebook page and YouTube channel of Junior MPBL. It's time to shine and presenting their city. It's 16-under Rizal Switch Fiber versus Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith. Let's meet the starting lineup first from your Rizal Switch Fiber. Point guard number 10, Alian Guanze. Guard number 17, Yuri Rupino. Center number 29, Joshua Timbol. Power forward number 25, Tristan De Jesus. Forward number 50, Choa Marquez. The head coach of Rizal Switch Fiber 16-under is Coach Tony Urbano, assisted by John Nasisito and Jess Mapanao. And now, it's time to meet the stars of your Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith. Point guard number 1, Adrian Serra. Guard number 28, Saras Miagara. Center number 4, Elijah Ibanez. Power forward number 0, Sky Curva. Forward number 10, Jillian Villano. The head coach of Mandaluyong Microsmith 16-under is Coach Mark Herrera. His assistant, Coach Yong Katikisa.
A look at the starters for the second game of a 6-game slate. This Tuesday, Mandaluyong will begin this ball game with Adrian Seria, Cerces Miagar, Elijah Ibanez, Sky Curva, and Julian Villano. Samantala for the Rizal Switch Fiber, we have Alian Guanze, Yurech Rupino, Keith Joab Marquez, Tristan De Jesus, and Joshua Timbol. Tipping off once again mula dito sa Antipolo City Sports Hub. Jaime Mendihar kasama si Coach Noy Africa. Later on, we will be hearing from CJ Ang, the third person of our panel. First possession, makukuha dito ng Rizal. Timbol, loose and basketball. Dito tayo sa kabila para sa Mandaluyong.
And of course, you're seeing Coach Mark Herrera already in the venue to coach his Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith team that lost their first game.
No, very competitive team nga. Every time Coach Mark Herrera steps on that floor. Testament to that, season number 1, they were the 18 under overall champions or national champions ng ating junior MPBL. Rufino opens the scoring festivities here this morning. Abante dito ang Rizal. Subukong bawiin. Seria able to answer.
And you know, Coach Mark Herrera really relies on his guards, even in any team that he's coached so far. And you're going to expect a lot of explosive guards here for the Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith.
While we say may sentro, may forward itong team ni Coach Mark Herrera, oftentimes we do feel that everybody is a guard. Looking inside. Ikot nila muli. Cesaria once again. This pull-up, too strong. Tracked down by Marquez. We're tied 2 apiece, closing into 8.5 sa ating first quarter. Guanze, no look. De Jesus, his floater, ayaw.
I'm not mistaken, Guanze used to play for either Dasmariñas or was it Imus in season 1, but has now moved over to Rizal Switch Fiber.
Corva hitting on that short stab. I believe Guanze played for Dasmariñas, played for his father, who I believe was the coach in that 14 and under team. So ngayon, nag-move up na siya to 16 under. As with any player that we've seen in season number 1 and season number 2, no, may extra level of scrutiny tayo na binibigay. Because we were curious on how players can translate their games from one division to the next. Yan naman ang kagandahan ng ating Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. We have that 14, 16, and 18. And coming right at you at the end of June would be the Manny Pacquiao's 21 under, aka the D-League of our Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL.
Of course, that's always interesting to see. But, you know, when you're watching the Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith, and actually any team coached by Coach Mark Herrera, you're going to expect this. One big man and usually 4 wing or guards playing for them because they really like to push the pace and they shoot a lot of 3-pointers. So let's see if there's a change in the identity of this team.
In terms of may magbabago ba sa identity, Coach Mark Herrera, we're pretty sure would be animated. Any game that...
oh, that's never gonna change.
That's never gonna change. Yeah.
Very fiery coach, very demonstrative. But on the other end, of course, Coach Tony Urbano, this Rizal Switch Fiber team pretty much is school-based. The Arellano University Braves in the NCAA. So, you know, usually those school programs are really at an advantage, especially with the chemistry and the amount of practice time that they can allot.
Lalo ngayong bakasyon, it might be easier for these teams, both the school-based and the club teams, to get together and get some floor time. Pero we've seen how, you know, teams have struggled after itong period na to, Coach Noy, talking about season number 1, where it's not just the practice time that they would now be challenged with, but also the presence of their players, the key players even, with their commitment sa kanilang mother schools.
And of course, that's what you like about the Junior MPBL. You allowed and teach these kids the importance of time management. And of course, these are student athletes, meaning they are student first before athletes.
Kabuhok mo naman si Coach Carter, so I guess I will... yun naman talaga isa sa mga mensahe in that movie. One of the better sports movies that we have. Or I've watched personally. It's 5-4, Mandaluyong up by 1. 6-19 remaining sa ating first period. Kakapaan pa parehong koponan dito. Both winless so far in their Season 2 campaign. Good news for isa sa kanila that one would go home with their first victory after today. Rufino, too strong. Fast break opportunity para sa Mandaluyong. Will get the bounce. Elijah Stan Ibanez. That fast break, sabi mo nga, has haunted. Bench points has haunted itong Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith in their previous assignment. And the starters so far maybe have kept them in it, pero pag pumupunta sila dun sa kanilang second unit, that's where I guess the offense dips.
And they're gonna have to figure this out, and there's still a lot of time for Mandaluyong as they have only played single game, having lost that one.
Go to the corner, Niagar for 3. Rattles out, tapikan, makuha ni Guanse. 3 red shirts sasalubong sa kanya. Inside to Timbol. Vessels it away. Gets that basket to go plus the foul. It's a tough cover itong si Timbol.
And if you're Mandaluyong, you hope this is not a replay of the 14 and under game wherein a big man dominated the ball game.
Of course, Tristan Teok, in case you missed it, was our Don Benito's best player of the game. Finishing with that double-double, 14 and 11. Timbol has a bonus free throw coming his way. That move brought to us, by the way, by Pound for Pound Fitness, the official fitness partner of the Junior MPBL. Chance.
If you look at Timbol against the players of Mandaluyong, you're going to see a very distinct height and weight advantage. So if you're Rizal, you'd want to dump that ball inside the post as much as you can.
Deadlocked at 7. A little under 5 minutes remaining sa ating first. Seria looking to create. Shot too strong. Timbol. Wala nang talon-talon pa. Secures that rebound. Guanse will take it all the way and score.
And if you're Rizal Switch Fiber, you know that you can run with this Mandaluyong team because you've got a rim protector on one end, so you can afford to leak out on offense.
We've seen that success sa 14 under game kanina, especially in that third quarter where Rizal used that weapon to take the lead back, leading into the fourth quarter where nahirapan na nga makabangon itong Mandaluyong. So fast break is commonly a theme every time you break a press, or like you said, yung mga leak out nga na that players could take advantage of, especially if you have a player that can secure that defensive rebound time and time again.
Well, it has been a staple in the junior MPBL. Even in the first season, all teams will try to run, especially with the younger legs that you see here.
Off the glass shot, won't work. Looking for a friend, able to get it to De Jesus. Roa now in the ball game para sa Rizal. You don't see Pilias, by the way. Lawrence Pilias, the top scorer para sa Rizal in that loss against Bulacan. Usually starts the ball game para dito sa Switch Fiber.
This is going to be a challenge for the other players of Rizal Switch Fiber, who will step up in the absence of their top scorer in the previous game.
Timbol will take a seat. Just when I say na upo na si Timbol, no? Akala mo magkakaroon ka na ng konting pawang sa loob. Fellow big man will replace him in the form of Peter Magat.
But also checking in for Mandaluyong to add a little more ceiling. Andre Gamboa, the son of the former PBA, former professional player. Was it Alan? I forget because he has brothers also. He has another brother playing in Mapua, also plays in the MPBL already. So that's a little more size, not really, you know, I feel like he's still trying to grow into his body. Again, I'm trying to recall which team he played for in the 14 under, but it's nice to see him already move up to the 16 under.
Last game na na-cover natin, Coach Noy, as we wait for our officials trying to figure something out. Play is halted. We spoke about big men, especially sa 14 under. Na naturally big ka dun sa 14 under because you probably are the tallest, you probably are the biggest player in your team. But as you move up the rank, 16 and 18, may not necessarily be the case. And kailangan mo rin mag-evolve into, you know, a bit more mobile wing possibly, or kapag ka talagang natigil na yung growth spurt mo, possibly even a guard.
So that's why it's important, even if you're in you're a big at the 14 under division, you still try to develop your wing skills, because if you stop growing and you're really stuck at just playing big, it's going to be a real struggle for you to keep adjusting as you move up the division.
Challenging the defense of Magat and heading to the line. This is Julian Villano with the pink shoes. Matingkad na matingkad. Of course, Villano was the man para sa kanila despite that loss against Antipolo, scoring 29 points and 11 rebounds.
And usually when you hear the numbers 29 and 11, you don't expect a guard like Villano to be getting those numbers. And it's really just, Coach Mark Herrera really stressing the importance of gang rebounding, especially since they have the smaller lineup.
Mindset-wise, alam mo naman na yun na i-apply ng mga bata. Mga undersized ka na coming in. It's not like biglang foul trouble yung big man mo, di ba? So as we see Villano once again, give him a rebound and give him a couple more points. Able to complete that free throw kanina, but a chance to hit on this bonus free throw. Gang rebounding baka mo, Coach Noy. Perfect example of how Villano does that, and does that perfectly well.
Like
That's
how
5 now on Villano.
You like how the players of Mandaluyong, they really embrace this small ball mentality, as everyone's going for that offensive rebound, and you see Villano with a putback in that play.
Naalat pa siya sa free throws though. Roa throws it ahead to Marquez. Looking to create for himself, matatapikan, and they reach in. Will be whistled here against Adrian Seria. 10-9, 1-point lead para sa Mandaluyong. Similar to that 14 under game, it's a bit of a low scoring affair. Although what I like about both these teams so far, a more conscious effort to take care of that basketball. No turnovers yet pa nga para dito sa Mandaluyong. Looking ahead to Villano once again. Gets the bump from Magat, wisely putting that shot up, rewarding himself with 2 free throws.
Not even scared of the much taller Magat. Villano attacking him off the dribble and putting his body into Magat to make sure that he does not get blocked.
If you're Magat, Coach Noy, what would you have wanted to see in that instance? Na, Villano has that knack to attack and get that bump. Is it simply staying vertical, or ano pang gusto mong makita sa kanya to, kasi nakadalawa na si Villano sa kanya eh.
Yeah, he actually stayed he didn't jump, which was the right play to move, but he should have you would have wanted him to be in a better defensive position, because Villano hit him on his side, so that's why the referees cannot call a charge. And like you said, staying vertical, just putting your hands up. If he scores, he scores.
As a technical is whistled here against the Rizal switch fiber for their second infraction of delaying of the ball game. We had that delay earlier. It seems to be a player, not quite sure, but they did deem it to be their first delay of the ball game kanina, and yet another one causing this technical free throw, although Seria will miss on that charity. So it's still 10-9 para sa Mandaluyong.
And you saw right there, Seria was the designated shooter for Coach Mark Herrera, and their first game finished with 15 points, played very heavy minutes, almost 36 minutes, and already with 3 personal fouls, so that could be a problem for Mandaluyong.
Splitting his charities was Villano. So far from the line, 3 out of 7. 3 out of 8 for the junior Microsmith. Go inside, De Jesus. Shadowed by 2 red shirts and will be called for that traveling violation. Clamping down is the junior Microsmith in that scenario.
Datang Gamboa able to use his length to stop that drive.
Ball lost by Seria. Pabalik dito sa Rizal. That would be just the first turnover dito para sa Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith. Under 2 minutes remaining sa ating first period. Nice steal. Looking to attack. A bit of impatience dito coming from William Chinel after coming up with that steal. I mean, I get it, no? Kasi kahit naman ako, kung makaagaw ka ng ganun, ganda na ng basa mo dun sa passing lane eh. Would want to reward yourself, but in that instance, naka-ready yung transition defense ng Rizal.
Yeah, whenever you make a stop like that, sometimes you feel like I deserve to be the one getting the 2 points. But that time, not really the best of moves as he attacked 2 players.
Clean up job para dito kay Angelo Cabantac. We're tied once again, this time at 11. Some pressure on the backcourt applied by Rizal. It's an 8-second violation will be called against Mandaluyong, having some trouble crossing that timeline.
And also right after that turnover for Chinel, what you like about Coach Mark, he really sets his players to a very high standard. He got the steal, but he turned the ball over and quickly he gets subbed out. And of course, for the players, it's really how you process something like that. Parang yung ibang bata isipin na I made a steal. So even if I made the turnover, I made a defensive stop. But for most coaches, you want your players to always play the right way. Even if you made the steal, if you didn't have an open lane, an open driving lane, you could have just pulled it out and waited for your teammates.
And you could only hope that these players really kind of have that perspective, or if hindi man pa, ma-develop din nila yung ganung pag-iisip that it may not necessarily be, yun nga, may maganda ka namang ginawa eh. But there was a mistake that maybe Coach Mark or several other coaches would want for you to digest and reflect on. Look how you can address on that gap pagbalik mo sa ball game.
And also trust that your coach does acknowledge that steal, and that would be something that he knows that could be a weapon for him moving forward. Your ability to read the passing lanes very well, and eventually you get those playing minutes. Those little positive things always gives a good impression to your coaches.
I think shot clock will run out against Rizal with 8 seconds remaining here in the first period. Last shot time if you are Mandaluyong. Penalty na dito ang Rizal. Something that they could take advantage of. Seria. And to elude his defenders. They go inside to Gamboa. Just in the nick of time. Hitting on that bucket. That will extend the lead of the Junior Microsmith to 3, 14-11 at the end of our first quarter. Take another look at that. Take a look at the highlights that we have in our first 10 minutes of action. Back and forth affair. A bit low scoring. Just 12 points to 11. A lot more action coming your way sa ating second. It would be 14-11 in favor of Mandaluyong at the end of the first.
Key player for the Rizal switch fiber, June Cueva, Lawrence Pilas, will not play today as he wasn't allowed by his mother team because the NCAA Juniors is ongoing right now. For their game plan without Lawrence, Coach June said that the reliever should step up as the team also lacks preparation and is still in progress. Back to you, Jaime and Coach Noy.
Thank you for the report. That was CJ Ang patrolling the sidelines for all the games today. Makakasama niyo pa po siya buong maghapon. And makakasama niyo pa si Coach Noy buong maghapon. And yun nga, hinahanap natin si Lawrence Pillas earlier, Coach Noy. And we did speak about how that type of challenge is being presented for the teams that we have sa ating Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL on availability of those key players due to their other commitments.
Of course, in the NCAA, they have the NCAA Kiddies. So that's below the NCAA Juniors. And this is pretty much the age group that plays in that tournament.
Basket from Timbol cuts this lead down to 1, 14-13, and an early timeout here in the second. Called by Coach Mark Herrera. Take another look at that basket from Timbol. So far, Timbol has 5. Babalik tayo after this Nature Spring timeout. With 9:30 remaining here in our second quarter, mga Nature Spring timeout nga ang tinawag dito ni Coach Mark Herrera. And Coach Noy, typically when coaches call for this early timeout after a made basket to begin a quarter, panggising ba yan? Or just making sure that the reminders are out in order to stop any momentum from building?
Well, Rizal did go to Timbol in the post right away, and I think Coach Mark really just wanted some adjustments to be made, especially on the defensive end, and also wanted to make some clarifications with the referee. So it was a double-edged sword for him in that timeout, dual purpose.
Dual purpose. Double-edged sword. Metaphors na gusto natin.
That's how I am in the morning when my brain doesn't really function yet. I'm trying to get very creative.
Have to get your bearings. Maliwalas naman dito sa Antipolo. I bet it would be easier than if it were, maybe somewhere where the wind isn't as breezy.
And of course, it is a holiday out here in Rizal, June 11, Rizal Provincial Day. And then tomorrow, holiday na naman. And I think you're working again tomorrow.
It is what it is. It is what it is. As Rufino heads to the line for a couple of shots. It's on the first, another deadlock at 14. Couple of early team fouls dito para sa Mandaluyong. Just a minute and 11 gone by. Rufino hits on both. Hinahanap nga natin who can fill those Lawrence Pilias shoes para dito sa Rizal Switch Fiber. Some of these players could use this game parang as a catapult into their future games, where I wouldn't be surprised if Lawrence Pilias this won't be the last game they would be missing his services.
And also, actually, we haven't seen Sapo and Arada probably also playing in the same tournament.
Earlier, Villano scores on another basket. 7 points so far here in the first half. Wansen able to hit on that 3, but Timbol, his hook, won't go. Looking ahead, touchdown pass, Villano with another bucket.
And Villano now in the ball game with 7 points. And Mandaluyong will really try to push the tempo already. 6 fast break points for them.
Now up by 3, 18-15 are the junior Microsmith. Timbol asking for it on the post. Still 8 seconds to execute for the white shirts. Wanse floats it up. Too strong. Tapikan. Ball will go back to Mandaluyong.
Great box out there by Ibanez, not allowing Kabantak to get rebounding possession.
It's going back to how undersized usually itong Mandaluyong team, Coach Noy, and learning how to position yourself, not necessarily getting a rebound, namimitas ka ng rebound. Yung having that base to be able to block out bigger guys such as Timbol, such as Kabantak, Marquez, even Magat. Alam mong madedevelop talaga if player ka ni Coach Mark.
Yeah, and the target is not para makapitas, but to prevent someone else na makapitas ng rebound.
Looking to add to their 3-point advantage is Mandaluyong. Garcia, first time in the ball game. Pulling up from the key, won't go. Timbol, namitas ng rebound.
No, despite the outstretched arms of Gamboa, Timbol with a lot more length and height, able to just pretty much pitas that rebound.
Marquez goes to Guanze. Open for this 3-pointer. Can't hit. Able to track it down is Mandaluyong. Villano has 9 to his name. Will reset. Still 14 to shoot for the red shirts. To the corner. Pass to Gamboa. If ang tatanungin natin is Victor Garcia. Gamboa hits on his second field goal. 4 to begin this game.
And you like the development in the game of Andre Gamboa. Before, would be a little harassed whenever he gets the ball inside. But you can see right now, very calmly, just got the rebound and scored on a putback.
Marquez will be called for this traveling violation. Meanwhile, let's head over to CJ Ang for another report. Go ahead, CJ.
Thank you, Jaime. From the Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith head coach Yong Katekista, as for the team, it is an advantage for them that the key player of the Rizal switch fiber, Lawrence Pilias, is not here today. But as for their game plan, it will be the same lang. Focusing on their defense, takbo, takbo, takbo. Sabi nga ni Coach Yong, counter every move ng kanilang kalaban. Kapag mabilis ang play ng kalaban, they will slow it down and then vice versa. That's all. Jaime and Coach Noy.
Thank you once again. That was CJ Ang with that report. And fast break so far has been one of the weapons of Mandaluyong. They are +4 in that department, 8-4. As parang fast break point na rin yun with that eye in the sky play. Ibanez with a finish from Andre Gamboa.
And of course, for any of the coaches, you come in with a game plan. You don't necessarily have to adjust it just because the key players for the other teams are not around. It's still very early in the season, so you cannot expect sudden game plan changes and expect the kids, the newer members of your team, to get it right away. So you just stick to the game plan, and besides that, it's pretty much how you're gonna play the rest of the season.
The Rizal switch fiber will call for their own nature spring timeout, trying to address this run from Mandaluyong. Take another look at that Gamboa to Ibanez connection. Biggest lead so far for the junior Microsmith at 7, 22-15. Babalik tayo din sa Antipolo City. This Antipolo Sports Hub for this matchup between Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith and the Rizal Switch Fiber sa ating 16 under division. Jaime Mendera, kasama pa rin si Coach Noy Africa together with Philip, our floor director. Gwapong-gwapo. Enjoying the action dito live. Facebook, YouTube. Prior that timeout, Marquez was fouled. Head to the line for a couple, missing on that first. But Rizal has to be careful here. The junior Microsmith slowly building momentum at the beginning of this second. Now up by 7.
And parang nag-iba yung ngiti nito ni Philip nung sinabi mong gwapong-gwapo eh. Ano lumalaki ulo, nababangga na dito eh. Anyway, an 8-4 scoring run for Mandaluyong has allowed them to build this 7-point lead.
Bacolor off on that 3. They get another opportunity. Seria floats it up and in.
And for Seria, that's now 5 points. He's playing on borrowed time with 3 fouls, but Coach Mark showing a lot of trust in him, letting him continue to play.
Ortega, babawi naman sa kabila. First 3-pointer para sa Rizal Switch Fiber after 5 tries. Badly needed basket dito para sa Rizal. Mandaluyong is threatening to build it to a double-digit advantage. Nababa niya sa 6 muli, 24-18 now.
And for Aidan Ortega, that's his first points here in the junior MPBL. only averaging 3.5 minutes per ball game.
Welcome sa the junior MPBL. Short-handed is understaffed itong Rizal Switch Fiber in this game. You spoke about not just the absence of Lawrence Pillas, Sean Arada also
And,
will be missed by Switch Fiber along with si Sapo.
Yeah.
Ibanez looking for Bacolor. Hindi sila nagkaamo yan. Good intention. As reported nga by CJ kanina, Coach Noy, no? You don't really want to fall to that trap na, oy, wala yung key players ng kabila. And you would want for the kids to build that mindset that regardless of who is in front of you, it's the same type of effort, you know, it won't dip, just knowing na maybe there are lesser headaches on the other side of the floor.
Of course, knowing Coach Mark Herrera, you know, he's gonna really stick to his system. And I think pretty much that's the same system he implements in whatever team he handles. So you don't want to change anything just because wala si ganito, wala si ganyan ng other team. You always want to just keep playing the right way.
Playing the right way indeed, and so far, Mandaluyong has played great in the second quarter, coming up with another steal. Fast break point, courtesy of Mayagar, his first points of this game.
That's already 11 turnovers for Rizal, and Mandaluyong just really quick to attack. That's now 10 points off turnovers for them.
Another foul will be whistled here against a Microsmith player. That would put them at the limit. Magat will head to the line for 2. Up by 8 is Mandaluyong, 26-18. So far, junior Microsmith able to create some separation after our first ended with just a 3-point advantage. Able to build on that. Magat, isa rin sa mga inaasahan dito ng Rizal Switch Fiber na playing without their usual scoring options. Ibanez almost loses it. Seria recovers. Go inside. Shot a tad too strong para dito kay Caridad. But ball will stay with Mandaluyong. Still 13 to work with. And with exactly 2 minutes remaining here in the second, Mandaluyong junior Microsmith will call for another Nature Spring timeout. Back with the last 2 minutes of our first half of action. It's 26-19. Mandaluyong still holding on to the 7-point lead against the Rizal Switch Fiber sa ating 16-under matchup. If you missed the game earlier, Rizal ang nakauna in this virtual best of 3. Winning by 9. Moving to 4-0 to begin their season. And gustong makasali nga in the winning column ang kanilang 16-under team. Still winless after 3 games. And off that timeout, perfect execution. Seria hitting on that 3-pointer, also the first para sa Mandaluyong.
And for Mandaluyong, always a good sign when Seria starts to heat up. Of course, in their first game finished with 15 points and already halfway there with 8 points.
Now the biggest lead para sa Mandaluyong at 10, 29-19. So foul will be called against Miagar. And penalty na dito ang Mandaluyong, so it would be Guanse. A chance to trim this lead down and avoid Mandaluyong to break this game open heading into the second half.
And remember Rizal and their loss against JT Bulacan Taipan really had a slow third quarter, and they're really gonna need to build some momentum here with a minute and 37 seconds left in the first half to try and build some momentum, something to bring and carry over in the second half.
Talk about how important that is, yung end of the quarters for teams. No? It may sound small, na parang, oh, 2 minutes, pupukpok tayo, but it does kind of set the tone heading into the succeeding quarter, like you said, or in this case, the succeeding half, as once it hits on that basket. And ito na, baka ito yung hinahanap mo, hinihingi mo dito sa Rizal to have that momentum on their side the last minute and 15 of this half. They do turn it over as Seria finishes with the left.
It makes it easier for the coaches to, to egg on his team to switch on the switch come the second half. And just because, you're coming in with a positive mindset, having made some positive plays, all it takes is just one basket. And, that energy is something you bring in to the halftime and hopefully carries you over to the next half.
Baka yung not just yung points na nadadagdagan, pati yung kumpiyansa, I suppose. As Talam, challenged by Villano, missing on that layup. Loose ball scramble. Over the back, foul will be called here against Ibanez. So it would mean free throws para dito kay Antonio Miguel Talam. That hurts if you are Mandaluyong. Trying to hustle for it, but instead, mabibigyan mo nga ng free throws itong Rizal.
But also for Mandaluyong already with 17 points in the second quarter. In their previous game, they were not even able to score 12 points in any of the quarters. So this is a step in the right direction. First quarter, 14 points. Second quarter, already 17.
Can't hit on the charities was Talam. Ball almost thrown away. Seria almost turn it over. They would keep it with still 17 on their shot clock. 8-second shot clock and game clock difference. Second quarter lamang po tayo mula dito sa Antipolo Sports Hub in Antipolo City. Villano spin cycle. What a way to get his 11th point of this game.
And that was a necessary spin. That's what makes it all the more impressive, able to extricate himself from the defense.
As Magat will get fouled from behind, mapipituan dito is Balibag.
And Mandaluyong already in the penalty, so that was not a foul they were really had the luxury of giving. While Rizal only with 2 personal fouls, so that could be something that they use with 7 seconds remaining.
Free throw story for Rizal so far. Maagang na penalty itong Mandaluyong in this quarter. 7 out of 12 after that conversion. So something that is keeping them in it. Not the best of a shooting clip, definitely, but you'd get any points that you can in this type of low-scoring ball game.
Especially with the height advantage in the post. That could be something they look to in the second half.
Last 5 seconds. They go to Villano. Lose the ball momentarily as time runs out in the second. No shot attempt para sa Mandaluyong, but nevertheless, they will take with them an 8-point advantage to the second half, 33-25. The 16-under matchup against Mandaluyong and Rizal. Magbabalik po tayo for the second half of action for more of your Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. Moments before we resume our second half of action for the 16-under matchup between Rizal and Mandaluyong. Look at some highlights in our first two quarters. Back and forth affair, and low scoring similar dun sa ating 14-under matchup kanina. Was 14-11 at the end of the first in favor of Mandaluyong. But Rizal trying to hang in there, not allowing the junior Microsmith to break this game open. But Mandaluyong so far behind the efforts of Villano nga and Seria. And short-handed itong Rizal, still looking for who can step up in the absence of Lawrence Villas. Look at the leading scorers dito, Coach Noy, a couple of players in double figures, both for the junior Microsmith. Dito sa kabila, yun nga, hinahanap pa natin who can get to that scoring column and be that primary scorer for the Switch Fiber.
So far for Rizal, leading scorer Guanse with 7, Timbol with 5, Rufino with 4. As you said, Villano and Seria already in double digits. But looking at the numbers, Mandaluyong, better shooting percentage from the field, 36 to just 29% for Rizal. What's very interesting here, we've been talking about the height disadvantage that they're at, but still, they're the one leading in rebounds, 27 to 21. And also they force a lot of turnovers, 13 turnovers for Rizal. They've converted it into 12 points off turnovers, and also, quite surprising, they're even leading in second chance points, 9 to 5.
Just classic, no? Classic Mark Herrera basketball.
That's Alan Gamboa, the father
Confirmed.
of Andre Gamboa.
Hinahanap mo nga kanina, Coach Noy, no? And now in the venue, full support of his son, as with a lot of the families and loved ones coming to our venue live. Even on a weekday, sabi mo nga holiday sa Rizal, nevertheless, making time to support the mga players nga, these young players trying to etch their name to our Manny Pacquiao's junior MPBL lower.
Yeah, that's right. And actually, even for most of the parents, it doesn't matter, holiday or not, for as long as they are available, they make time for their kids. And this is already the 16 and under division, and you can see still the parents wanting to be there to come and support their kids. Sometimes I even hesitate on calling these players kids, especially when you get to stand beside them. Parang inis mo, ako ba yung kid o sila?
Kung ikaw nag-hesitate, ako walang hesitation at all. No?
Huwag mo na maisipin na toddler ka.
Dapat nagdadala na yata ang gatas whenever I cover the games. Kidding aside, third quarter about to resume. Wala dito sa Antipolo Sports Hub. It's 33 to 25. Mandaluyong building this 8-point advantage. First half of action. Rizal Switch Fiber playing without Lawrence Pilla, Sean Arada, and Sapo. Julian Sapo, if I'm not mistaken, is the name. Villano, one of the main factors in the first half. Gamboa will be called for steps. Something the big would have to kind of develop yung footwork na yan. Height-wise, sabi ko kay Coach Joseph kanina, hindi mo naman matuturo ang height. No?
You of all people should know that.
I mean, kung pwede naman, where do I sign up, di ba? Roa, starting this second half para sa Rizal, along with Talam. Jesus, unable to hit from top of the key. Roa saves it with the wrong jersey. Great hustle though. Villano on the other end. With reset. Still 15 to work with. Ibanez from the baseline. Short. Rebound. Magat.
And interestingly for Mandaluyong, the guy leading them in rebounds is Ibanez, who easily plays either the 2 or the 3 with 7 rebounds already. As you've got Rufino scoring on the other end for Rizal Switch Fiber.
Opening scoring festivities sa ating third quarter. Gamboa can't hit on that putback. Opportunity once again para sa Rizal, mababa ang kalamangan. Rufino hit one earlier, challenges Gamboa, unable to score. Villano leading the break. Kick out, Seria for another 3. Too strong, gets his own miss. To the lane, floater. Ayaw pa din. As Ibanez, just as you said, Coach Nostradamus, gets another rebound. Add one more to now an 8th rebound tally. Plus the foul brought to us by Pound for Pound Fitness, the official fitness partner of the Junior MPBL. And as we wait for this bonus free throw coming from Ibanez, we head over once again to CJ Ang for another report. CJ?
Thank you, Jaime. Julian Villano of the Mandaluyong Junior, Microsmith, keys to winning is their consistency, sipag sa depensa, teamwork, their communication inside the court, at ang tamang ikot ng bola habang naglalaro. Tignan natin kung itong keys to winning ni Villano will help them win this game. Back to you, Jaime and Coach Noy.
Thank you, CJ. And Villano has been kind of leading by example para dito sa Junior Microsmith. As we saw Jesus hitting on that basket. They go once again to Gamboa, unable to hit. Ball goes back to Rizal.
Of course, consistency very important, as you know. Rizal switch fiber would have made the necessary adjustments coming out of halftime, and for you to keep your 8-point lead that they brought into the halftime, they're gonna have to remain consistent, especially on the defensive end.
Ball trying to back his way down. Excellent clamp down defense there coming from Espiritu. Zeroa challenges Seria. Nice show of sportsmanship there coming from Antonio Talam.
And if you're Seria, eventually you're gonna have to learn when you hear that whistle. Even if you know you have no chance to make the shot, just try and show the referees that you're attempting, so you get the trip to the free throw line.
Skill din yun, Noy, no? Na pagka narinig mo nga yung pito, make it appear like you're taking a shot as Villano misses from the baseline. Empty possession muli para sa Mandaluyong. Lead down to 6. So while opportunities are being provided dito para sa Rizal Switch Fiber, they've yet to convert here in the third. And they turn it over back to Mandaluyong. Seria, his attack. Layup bit off as a loose ball foul would be whistled here against Espiritu. That would be the second team foul para sa Mandaluyong.
I like the effort though coming from Seria. Even when he missed that layup, went right back into play, tried to get a steal, although the foul already was called on his teammate.
Check that. First team foul pa lamang para sa Mandaluyong. Rizal looking to execute from the half court. Goes to the block. Timbol. Hounded by Espiritu. Goes to the hook. Will miss but will head to the line for a couple. While Espiritu has done a great job trying to contain itong si Timbol. Really can do so much trying to stand your ground against the height and weight advantage of this young kid.
Of course, Timbol already has 5 points. The best you can do is try to contain and also limit his touches. And so far, Mandaluyong has been very successful with that. And just a point to make, here in the Junior MPBL, you're allowed to bring 25 players, and then you're allowed to play 20. And if you look at Rizal right now, they only have 15 total players, 10 sitting on the bench. So, you know, pretty much since your best players are playing in the NCAA Kiddies, all of the points here, all 30 points, essentially you can consider it as bench points. Moving forward, you're gonna have these guys able to come in and contribute off the bench.
And bench points have been the disadvantage of Mandaluyong. So yun naman ang gusto mong gawing weapon if ikaw ang Rizal. In the absence of your 3 key players, as Ortega almost turns it over. Spins inside the lane was Rufino. Turns it back over to the Junior Microsmith.
And going back to bench points for Mandaluyong in this game, only 4 bench points. So you're still gonna find some spark off the bench. In their last game, only had a solitary bench point.
Spark ibibigay dito ni Ibanez. Take another look at that move, eluding the defense of Timbol using his speed. chance to hit on this bonus free throw. That move, by the way, brought to us by Pound for Pound Fitness, the official fitness partner of our Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL.
It looks like Coach Mark Herrera getting a bit tired, so Coach Yong Katikista now calling the shots for Mandaluyong.
I guess he could afford to take a couple of minutes to breathe. His team up by 8, 38-30. Pass hindi aabot kay Timbol. Another turnover dito sa Rizal.
No, so that's what you like about Coach Mark Herrera. He allows his other coaches to grow and develop. He's already in the venue, so why not just call the shots for the rest of the game? But he wants to give opportunities to guys like Yong Katikista and Jay Cruz, another one of his proteges.
Deliana will pull up for that three. Miagar off the miss. Third opportunity para sa mga nakapula. Seria susubok. Gets his second three of the game. Seria now has 13.
And Seria nearing his point average of 15.
Abantak gets that basket to go, plus the foul from Gamboa. Breath of life para dito sa Rizal switch fiber. After Mandaluyong, after that basket earlier by Seria, their biggest lead at 11. Nababangan ni Kabantak to 9 after that basket. Bonus free throw coming his way. That move brought to us by Pound for Pound Fitness, the official fitness partner of our Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL.
We like the idea there by Kabantak, making Gamboa move his feet, and a slight speed advantage, just enough for him to finish.
Completing that three-point play. Lead down to 8 once again, 41-33. Three-pointer the old-fashioned way. Almost a turnover para sa Mandaluyong. They get it back to Seria. This is Ibanez now. Look at the passing from the Junior Microsmith squad. As Curva able to finish underneath.
Finally getting to reward their big man as Curva gets to score inside.
Under 4 minutes left sa ating third period. Kabantak, nice head fake. Almost another end one. This time it's Curva ang naisahan niya.
Could see the frustration in the face of Kabantak. Knew that he could have, this could have been a three-point play opportunity, but just failing to convert.
Nakita nyo sa background ninyo, Coach Mark trying to instruct nga what Curva. Gamitin mo yung paa mo to get to that spot.
And that's imperative now for the bigs to be able to move their feet, because you're gonna get to be you're gonna be forced to defend in the perimeter, especially with the way the game has been played here. I mean, you can dominate on one end, on the offensive end, but the other team may view you as a mismatch on the other end and make you try to defend in the perimeter.
Charity split para kay Kabantak. As a foul will be whistled here against him. Not it at the limit is Rizal. That would be team foul number 3. Samantala Mandaluyong is already in the penalty. So 3:40 remaining sa ating third period. It's a 9-point advantage para sa Mandaluyong. Seria, another 3. Too strong. Kabantak tracks it down, looking ahead. This is Guanse. He pulls it back. This time attacks. Gamboa with a swat.
That time Guanse pulled the ball back. Knew that it didn't have the numbers, but unfortunately deciding on trying to attack the lengthy arms of Gamboa.
Looking inside to Timbol. Reset to Ortega. Swings it to Guanse. Still 8 to work with. Timbol. Patient inside. Goes to the hook once again. 2 more free throws coming up para kay Joshua Timbol.
And good things happen whenever they get the ball inside the post to Timbol. As from the outside, they really struggle, only 1 out of 6. And they probably need to hit some three-pointers to try and open up opportunities for Timbol inside.
Sikip eh. Dalawa kaagad yung, I mean, not necessarily on him, but waiting for him to just bring that basketball down. Andun mo nga pwedeng abangan itong si Joshua Timbol.
And the inability to shoot from the outside, allowing Mandaluyong to stay in that zone defense.
Ibanez with a pull-up. That's off. Roa slows it down. So trailing by 8 is Rizal, 43-35. 2.5 left. So foul will be whistled here against Bacolor, it seems. And that would mean free throws para kay Ortega.
That's something Rizal can look at. Use the aggressiveness of Mandaluyong to their advantage, as already in the penalty is Mandaluyong. So any fouls will mean free throws for Rizal. So far they've tried to take advantage of that. Already 20 free throw attempts, however, have missed 8. So, you know, if they can shoot better from the free throw line, this should be a much closer ball game.
Ortega will hit on that first. Able to hit on that three-pointer. The lone three-pointer of Rizal. They need more of that. Hopefully free up some space inside, because they have had that height advantage through Joshua Timbol and Kabantak. But they can't really operate as freely as they would want to. Hitting on both charities, lead down to 6, 43-37. Seria. 8 to shoot. Ibanez finds a gap. Blocking foul will be called here. And that would mean free throws for Ibanez.
That essentially puts Rizal also in the penalty. That's the 4th team foul.
That's the first, now in double digits, is Elijah Stan Ibanez. Closing into a double-double as well. Just a lone rebound away. Samahan mo na rin ng 3 assists. An all-around performance coming from Ibanez.
So he may not be scoring heavily, but you know, those rebounds have really been a spark, so to speak, for Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith.
Ball put back off that Kabantak miss.
Nothing micro on that finish from Timbol, just pulling his way inside.
Serian able to answer on the other end. Gets another try. Blocked from behind. Gamboa looking to save it. But to a white jersey. Ortega leads the break. Looking to create for himself. Can't finish. Gamboa loses the basketball but blocks Guance. Takbo tayo sa kabila. Seria open for 3. Too strong. Rebounded by Gamboa. Fast-paced for both teams at the end of this third quarter. Seria another 3. Still can't hit.
That time a little forced for Seria, even after missing a 3 in transition, still showing a lot of confidence in his shot.
Kabantak, his turnaround. Ayaw, Timbol gives them another opportunity, another hook. Third try. Para dito sa Rizal switch fiber, Joshua Timbol, now with 11.
Gamboa actually did the right thing, just stayed vertical but unable to stop the lengthier Timbol, but gets back at him on the other end with a mid-range jumper.
Yan naman ang magpapalabas dito kay Joshua Timbol if you would be able to hit on that jumper consistently. Nice to see the stroke from Gamboa. About a 3-second shot clock and game clock difference. Balahadia floats it up. Too strong. Ball goes back to Mandaluyong and they could hold for the last shot. 10 seconds remaining here in the period.
But Rizal already in the penalty, so cannot afford to give up a foul.
6-point lead and 6 seconds left. Go to Gamboa. Bullet pass. Miagar will get that ball to trickle in as the buzzer signals the end of our third quarter. It would still be an 8-point lead. Able to maintain this 8-point advantage that they had leading to our third quarter. Heading into our last 10 minutes of action, some highlights for you in that third quarter. Mandaluyong in the driver's seat for most of the way. But as always, Rizal trying to hang in there. Maybe a chance for them to complete a comeback in the last 10 minutes of action. At the end of the third, it's 49-41. Abante pa rin ang Mandaluyong. Back for the last 10 minutes of action for game number 2 of a 6-game slate ngayong araw. The 16-under matchup of Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith and the Rizal Switch Fiber, where Mandaluyong has held the lead for majority of this game. 8 points kanilang kalamangan dito. As we begin the action here in the fourth, Jaime Mendihar kasama pa rin si Coach Noy Africa alongside CJ Ang bringing the action live mula dito sa Antipolo Sports Hub in Antipolo City as Roa unable to hit from the corner. So it has been a better outing, Coach Noy, sa offensive side of the basketball para sa Rizal in that third with 16 points. But nakikipagpalitan sila ng baskets with Mandaluyong, not necessarily the formula to get back to this ballgame.
Of course, both teams playing to a stalemate in that third quarter, each scoring 16 points. And if you're Rizal, you cannot allow yourself to just trade baskets with a team up by 8.
As Magat escapes, gets it on the second try off his own miss. Lead down to 6 once again. Pero dito yung barrier na hindi nila maibaba eh. They have been able to close it to 6. But every time, just as I say that, Mandaluyong has found the answer. Seria hits on his third three-pointer of the ball game. He now has 16.
That's definitely not gonna help giving Adrian Seria an open three-pointer. You know he's gonna shoot it even when he's contested, but the percentages will really skyrocket if you leave him open.
Shooter shoot, ika nga. Roa unable to answer on the other end. Lead up to 9, 52-43. Villano kicks it out to Seria. Back-to-back three-pointers, same spot, same result. Leaves the gooseneck out there. 19 now para kay Adrian Seria. Lead is up to 12, the biggest of the game. Take another look at the stroke of Adrian Seria. That's the first one and the second one for good measure. Mandaluyong looking to break this game open, up by 12, 55-43. We have a Nature Spring timeout. (55-43). 12-point lead built here by the Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith. And would Rizal now have an answer? They've been able to stay in it, keep a step kahit papano dito sa Mandaluyong, able to bring this lead down to 6 at several points in this game. Would they be able to knock at the door once again? Villano has other things in his mind. Can finish on that layup. Foul given up in the backcourt. Miagar reaching in against Roa.
And as you said, that 6-point barrier, still that barrier that they cannot cross as Seria with those back-to-back threes. But they're going to have to make the adjustment on the second three, a little late on the closeout for Marquez. They're going to have to locate him on the floor.
Marquez hits inside. So, kumbaga, the big men of Rizal, they've had a lot of success getting that ball inside to Timbol, to Magat, and that time Marquez. Also on the defensive end, giving up a lot of points, especially to this guy. Feeling it, but his heat check won't work.
Better defense there, closing out on Seria.
Marquez can't get that bucket. Takbo tayo sa kabila. Go to Ibanez. Curva. Outside once again. Great rotation from the junior Microsmith, leading into that three-pointer, but a batad too strong para kay Seria.
After two straight misses for Seria.
Marquez double pumping for that jumper.
Not really the kind of shot you want to see. Double clutch jumper from the free throw line.
Under 7 minutes left sa ating fourth quarter. Still a 10-point lead para sa junior Microsmith. Seria once again. Just 6 to shoot. Niagar, ikot nila. Villano. Off on that three, able to track it down. Is the smallest guy on the court and finds Curva inside. Credit have that basket to Miagar.
Would be more believable if it was Curva, getting the rebound and giving it to Miagar. But the reversal of roles there, very impressive effort coming from Miagar.
Napagsabihan nga siya dito kaagad ni Coach Mark Herrera because I believe it was a double foul called against him and Rufino. We can take another look. Oh, it's not a double foul, but instead an unsportsmanlike foul. Yan, at the top of your screens. Oh. Not a lot to go with. So Rufino arguing na nauna nga siyang banggain daw ni Miagar. But oftentimes, alam naman natin, yung ganti ang nahuhuli.
And actually Miagar with an impressive play yet again. As we were just talking about him, and then sacrificing his face, not only his body but his face, but will miss on that first free throw.
Miagar so far, all-around performance as well. That free throw will give him 5 for the game, 5 rebounds and 3 assists. Cersei Dane Miagar.
And these are the stats that you do not expect from your guard, especially one of your smallest players. 5 rebounds already.
Yan, parang karihay ko na siguro yan kung ako yan. Seria once again. Pull up, ayaw, curva. Blocked by Timbol. They look ahead, Roa all alone. Finish on that layup.
Great pinpoint pass coming from Guanse. And cuts the lead down to 11 points.
Looking to make up for it, Curva. Off that pass from Ibanez.
Curva just doing exactly what is expected of him. Grab those rebounds and able to finish. Sky job. Curva doing its job.
It's 60-47, a 13-point lead para sa Mandaluyong. Can't hit from outside was Roa. Takbo tayo sa kabila. Seria to Curva. But Seria will be called for that offensive foul. And while we say that he has done a great job nursing those 3 fouls in that first half, that would be personal foul number 4 against Adrian Seria.
Doing too good of a job clearing out space for his teammate. Excessive force called for an offensive foul.
Had that 3-on-1 advantage. But I guess something to learn from. Clearing out the defense. Guanse. De Jesus pulling up. Off. Tapikan. Makukuha ni Ibanez ang rebound. 3-on-2 on the other end. Side steps. Finishes.
That's what you like when it's the wing players, the guards, able to get the rebound. Because they have the ability to dribble the length of the court and finish. And Ibanez now, that's 13 points and 12 rebounds to go with 6 assists.
As Roa throws it away, turnovers really hurting the chances of Rizal switch fiber. That's turnover number 20 in this game. Can't add to this 15-point lead. Was Mandaluyong. Still some time left if you are Rizal, despite being short-handed in this ball game. But Villano, foiled by Roa. Seria pulls it back. Won't be surprised if he thought about another three. Inikot nila kay Ibanez. Ayaw. As a foul in the backcourt, that has kind of been one of the weaknesses, I would say, nito Mandaluyong, Coach Noy. They've been, I think, in the second and the third, pretty confident that they were in early penalty.
And really not much of a choice for Mandaluyong. They play very aggressively on the defensive end. And it's really nearly automatic for them to be in foul trouble in every quarter. Eventually, that's something that they have to clean up. You know, play aggressive defense, use your feet, move your feet, and not rely on the reaching in for those steals.
Roa can't hit. This pass, bit wayward. Had a couple of options in Jesus and Timbol. But that's turnover number 22 now para sa Rizal.
Against just 11 for Mandaluyong.
Villano can't hit. Curva able to get that rebound over Timbol. But turns it over to Ortega. Still a 15-point lead para sa Mandaluyong. 3:40 remaining sa ating fourth. Roa will try. That three-pointer really absent dito sa laro ng Rizal in this game.
They don't really rely heavily on that outside shot. Only attempting 8 times but only converting once.
Did make a point nga no that if they are able to hit kahit you know, just make the defense honest and free up that space where Kabantak, Timbol obviously were very successful whenever they look for their big men inside. Talam can't hit on that three. Still won't get the bounce is Ortega. They get a third chance. This Guance from the corner. Hits on that three-pointer. Hinahanap ba natin? He has been the only player to hit on those three-pointers. His second of the game. And that's Guance's 10th point.
And they're gonna need a lot more, especially if they want to make a comeback. Still enough time, 12 points in 3 minutes.
Kabantak. Medyo nailang. Can finish with that left. Seria. Dancing with the defense. Steps through. So 12 to shoot para sa mga nakapula. As a foul will be called here against Guance.
Second personal foul. Second team foul. Substitution.
62 to 50. 2:49 remaining sa ating fourth quarter. Does Rizal have one final run in them? Seria has been the thorn on the side of the switch fiber in this game, especially here in the second half. Miagar will be called for a travel. Espiritu rather.
Especially those back-to-back three-pointers to open the fourth quarter really created the separation. And so far, Rizal has been unable to get back on track after those 6 straight points coming from Seria.
2.5 left. Rufino goes to the reverse. So 5-0 run here para sa Rizal.
No room for complacency for the side of Mandaluyong. No lead has been safe in the junior MPBL even during the inaugural season.
Almost throw the ball away. They indeed throw it away. Rufino against Ibanez. Gets the bump. And the finish. Make that a 7-0 run now. Lead is down to 8. Closing in to 2 minutes remaining in this game as Mandaluyong will call for this nature spring timeout. Nice bump there from Rufino. Getting enough space against Ibanez. Pabangang kalamangan sa 8. We'll be back with more of your Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. It's 62 to 54, still in favor of the Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith. But Coach Mark Herrera trying to make sure there isn't any monumental collapse after leading by as much as 15. Rizal going on this 7-0 run. Might be a case of a little too late, but window of opportunity para sa Rizal. Building on this momentum, possibly getting their first win of this season. After 4 tries, Rufino muli. Was getting it all the way. Talam trying to fight for it. Able to recover but stolen by Villano. To the other end, the hoop and the harm. Possibly the dagger. Para sa Junior Microsmith. Another pound-for-pound fitness move brought to us by Pound for Pound Fitness, the official fitness partner of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL.
That momentary trip actually did him good, forcing him to slow down and have enough composure to still finish, and it's back to a 10-point lead with 1:42 remaining.
Parang 4-point swing yun if you think about it, dahil an opportunity sana. Sorry, miss nga lang para sa Rizal, and they throw it away. And another fast break point para sa Mandaluyong, where they had a lot of their success, and another couple of points to be added sa points of turnovers. Rufino too deep. Niagar looking ahead, finds Villano. Can't finish on that layup. 1:20 remaining. Rufino looking to attack. Gets to the lane, drop pass to Magat.
Rufino has been a positive, especially here in this fourth quarter. Already 10 points and has tried to spark his team to a comeback.
A 9-point lead, 3-possession ball game. Junior Microsmith would be wise to milk as much clock as they could. Villano open for this three. Can't hit. Looking ahead. Rufino almost loses it, but they would keep it on the baseline. Look at the hustle coming from Villano. Almiagar rather. Sorry, Seria, because they all have a same barber, maybe.
And also the same effort that we've seen from all of the players for Mandaluyong so far.
It's 65 to 56. Baliktaran tayo dito. Just 52 seconds left in this ball game. Mandaluyong looking to hold on. We have another Nature Spring timeout. Just 52 seconds remaining in this ball game. 16 under matchup of Mandaluyong and Rizal. The second of 6 games hatid sa inyo ng Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL ngayong Martes mula dito sa Antipolo Sports Hub in Antipolo City. I'm Mandy Hark, kasama rin si Coach Noy Africa together with CJ Ang. Bring you the action live. Whether you're watching us live or in Facebook or YouTube, maraming salamat po for enjoying youth basketball with us on this weekday. So Rizal has had several attempts trying to go on these runs to complete a comeback, but each and every time Mandaluyong has had an answer.
And it has really been Mandaluyong able to dictate the pace. They wanted to play fast as they force another turnover. Already 17 fast break points for Mandaluyong.
Ibanez will miss on that layup as a loose ball foul will be called here against Mandaluyong. That would be Curva whistled for that personal, putting them at the limit. So no free throws just yet para sa Rizal. looking to score and looking to score quick. Are the switch fiber. This is Rufino finding a lane again, attacking the defense. Will head to the line for two.
And Rufino has been trying very aggressively to get to the free throw line. But for their team, 14 out of 22 from the free throw line.
I'd say Yurich Rufino has been quite a revelation para dito sa Rizal switch fiber. Hasn't played a lot, right? Just a little over 13 minutes played in this ball game, averaging just 2 points and 3 rebounds in the season so far. At in the absence of Sapo, Arada, and Pillas, scoring in double figures. So maybe parang audition piece din niya to sa kanilang coaching staff na I could be relied on from a game-to-game basis.
Especially in this fourth quarter, as they tried to put pressure. He has been one of those players who has been able to force turnovers for Rizal.
That free throw cuts the lead down to 8, 65 to 57 with 32 seconds remaining. We have another Nature Spring timeout. Just 32 seconds left in this game. Rizal trying to find a way back, trailing by 8, 65 to 57 against the Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith. Both teams still winless to begin their campaign, although a lone game has been played by Mandaluyong, losing big by Antipolo. Against Antipolo rather, but they have more than made up for it in the sister team of Rizal, in the Rizal Switch Fiber, who are still looking for their first win after 3 tries nga dito sa ating season number 2 of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. Villano is trying to take care of this basketball. Could afford not to take another shot, but Miagar unable to hold on to that leather, giving yet a sliver of hope dito sa Rizal. And that foul will mean free throws para kay Yurich Rufino.
That's going to be 5 fouls on Seria. Yeah, it is on Seria. And last thing you wanted to happen in that situation, give up a foul, only allowing 4 seconds to run out on the game clock. Rizal gets an opportunity to score.
So Adrian Seria will call it a morning. But even though we won't be seeing him anymore for the rest of this game, excellent outing coming from this young kid, playing close to almost the whole game. After scoring 15 in their first game, despite that loss, surpassing pa nga yung kanyang average with 19 to go with 4 rebounds and an assist. And yung baskets niya nga and the timing of those 2 threes that you spoke about earlier, Coach Noy, parang took the wind out of the sails of Rizal in that part of the game.
And it's still pretty much the cushion that they're sitting on, only a 7-point lead.
Follow on the backcourt, given up dito by Talam. Miagar ang masusubukan sa linya.
Also for Mandaluyong, the guy who checked in for Seria, Andre Gamboa, scored 6 points. And those 6 points are the only bench points for Mandaluyong in this ball game.
And 6 may look small, Coach Noy, but they only had 1 in their previous game. So 600% increase in that department. So you take your wins, I would say.
And this is going to be a first win for them. So, you know, we're just nitpicking. You'd want a little more production from your bench. But when you've got a guy scoring 19 points for Seria, 14 for Villano, Ibanez with 13, sometimes you just might not need that bench to be productive. But when you go up against the better teams, Rizal is a good team. It just so happened that their main players not around. You might not get away with just 6 bench points.
I like the mindset though that was applied by the junior Microsmith heading into this game. That knowing that those players are absent, playing dun nga sa NCAA KD sa Coach Noy, that the players are able to fill in those shoes of switch fiber key players, and yung effort na pinakita rin naman ng mga bata from Mandaluyong, hindi rin naman parang dahil wala nga yung key players ng kabila.
That's right. And even, 7-point lead, 13 seconds, the two coaches still continuing to coach as we've got back-to-back timeouts on both ends, of course. At this stage, it's very early in the tournament. More than anything, you want to get reps in for your teams. For Rizal, to practice how to defend a sideline out-of-bounds play. While for Mandaluyong, just imperative that they get the ball inbounds and able to use the clock.
Of course, building those good habits that you are expected to carry over to your next game. It is a long season, as you've alluded to, Coach Noy. Gamboa is looking to protect that basketball. Fortunately, jump ball, and they would keep possession. Just 7 seconds remaining. Villano loses that basketball to Rufino. Add 2 more to Estali. Will finish this game with 14. Pressure being applied. Babalik ulit ang bola dito sa Rizal. So not quite the finish that you'd be expecting if ikaw si Coach Mark Herrera. But definitely if you're Rizal, you like the fight in these kids. Fight until the buzzer.
Coach Mark Herrera will not be happy with how this game ended. They come away with just a 5-point lead, a 5-point win for them. But those turnovers in the end, not really something you're going to be happy about. But more than anything, despite Seria exploding for 19 points, it has been the contributions, the all-around contributions by Elijah Ibanez that has been the key for them. Stuffing the stat sheet, 13 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals for good measure.
Elijah Ibanez setting that tone. Not the top scorer for his team, pero sabi mo nga, everything that he brought to the table, finding his teammates, getting those rebounds against a tall front line of the Rizal Switch Fiber team, giving them their first victory of the season. And siya nga ang kasama ng ating CJ Ang for our Don Benitos, best player of the game.
Thank you, Jaime. Mga kaliga, kasama ko ngayon ang ating player of the game with 13 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists, Elijah Ibanez of the Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith. Elijah, ano yung naging motivation mo para sa game na ito upang maging player of the game at makuha ang panalong ito?
Yun lang po, mula first, second, and third po, medyo nangangapa po kami nung first. And ayun po, medyo natamlay po ako nung third quarter. Then nung tumawag po ng timeout si coach, binigyan niyo po ako ng pampagising na bumuhay po sa akin at sa team namin. And ayun po, doon po naging maganda yung run ng team namin at sa mga role players po namin.
Elijah, meron ka bang gustong batiin at pasalamatan?
Ayun po, maraming salamat po sa pamilya ko, kay Mami at Daddy, Jen and Elmer, at sa lola ko, kay Lola Deli, at sa girlfriend ko, kay Rain Ann Sangalia. And sa mga kapitbahay namin, shoutout sa Villa 6, ay lang po. At sa mga coaches, Coach Mark, Coach Yong, at Coach Benji, sa mga coaching staff, ayun lamang po.
Congratulations, Elijah, and to your team. Before anything else, we would like to thank our dear sponsor, Don Benitos, for providing a sumptuous Filipino delicacy to our player of the game. Don Benitos, ang pambansang kasava. Back to you, Jaime and Coach Noy.
Thank you, CJ, and congratulations, Elijah Stan. You the man. Our Don Benitos, best player of the game, giving the first victory of Mandaluyong in this season number 2. Coming right up, a rubber match. Nakauna sa 14 under ang Rizal. Bumawi ang Mandaluyong sa 16. Let's find out who will be the victor sa ating 18 under division. Diyan lamang po kayo. Magbabalik pa po ang inyong Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL season number 2. Ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino.
tagumpay, gabay at pag-asa